Hey there, everybody. Welcome to LDRS Creative. We're in studio tonight for another craft-along. Yay, 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 yay. Party hands. So, everybody, I hope you have had an absolutely wonderful last week since past 7 days since we've seen each other. Oh my goodness. Welcome to everybody who's tuning in, everybody that is normally here. We so appreciate you, and everybody that might be new, we so appreciate you too. Thank you so much for joining us. So a little anecdote that I thought I would share with you. So a few days ago, and I don't remember the circumstances here. Now, mind you, Alan and I have been married for 21 years.
Oh God, it's much longer now.
21 years, and I think we were together for 3 years before that, maybe 2, something like that. So the other day, and I can't remember the circumstances surrounding this, but he says to me, "Oh, you parted your hair on the side. When did you start parting your hair on the side?" I said, "My entire adult life." "Don't you part your hair in the middle?" "No." I have a colic in the middle of my forehead that prevents me from parting my hair in the middle, except on occasion when I force it, on very rare occasions. So
apparently whoever I spend time looking at.
Yeah, to everyone out there, I hope your husband knows what you look like. Mine apparently doesn't. There's a story that my mom used to love to tell, and you have to understand, I get my sense of humor from both of my parents. Both my parents have a roaring sense of humor. And this is a true story. My mom used to wear the same earrings. She used to have 2 holes in each ear, 2 piercings in each ear. And in the bottom ear, she wore like a tiny little diamond stud. And so my dad apparently came home from work and was telling her how the secretary at work had these something about her earrings, and he was describing her earrings to a T and everything. And my mom is, of course, getting, a little irritated. And so she covers up her ears like this, and she says, "Bob," that's my dad, "what color are my earrings?" And he was dumbfounded, started laughing. She did not. She said, "I wear the same earrings every day." But he knew what his secretary's earrings looked like. They stayed together, and and we're married for many, many years. Anyway, alrighty. So that's enough of my little anecdote. See, I like to tell little stories and little funnies. I'm not a philosopher. I don't.
That's for sure.
I like to spread good cheer in other ways.
There was something we were supposed to remember to say.
What were we supposed to remember?
I don't remember. That was your job.
It was my job.
I was supposed to remember that there was something.
You were supposed to remember to tell me something. Oh, I know what it was. I wanted to remind I wanted him to remind me to tell everybody that we have a lot of new discounts going on in the store. So I think that was it. If you look at the website, you will see, if you look in the clearance sections, you will see a lot of items in there in case anybody was looking for any stocking stuffers and things like that. It's a good place to get some. Was there something else you wanted me to say?
Yeah, it was important too. But
it was important?
Yeah.
All right, well, he said that wasn't what I was supposed to tell you, but
it was.
He doesn't remember. Okay, well, Alan, if you think about it, let me know.
I won't.
I would appreciate it.
You'll have to.
Okay, so today we're going to play with some of those goodies from the October collection, and one of the things that I would love to have but not maintain is like one of those old-fashioned, like those old Chevy trucks. Are they Chevy trucks? I don't know what they are, but they're just gorgeous. And that, of course, was kind of the jumping off point for our So Thankful stamp set. And there's like one of those old-fashioned trucks in there. And so I thought that I would work with that today. And I pulled some other products as well. And I'm going to color that up. But when we get started, when I start showing you this stuff, I'm going to ask you guys a question about it, because I want you guys to decide something for me, because I'm not sure which way to go with it. So let's go ahead and switch cameras, and I'll show you everything that we're working with today.
We're going to 2. don't know where you want
Yes,
to
2 is good. Okay, so this is that. Oh, you know what? Let's go to 3. Let me get my glasses. Well, you know, when they don't show up very well.
go. I know.
Of course, this is my well-loved set. You can see that I stamp with this, and I've used everything in it, I think, except for this sentiment, which I'm planning on using today. I haven't used, well, first of all, all right. I haven't used the little milk crate yet, and I haven't used these little bits here, and I think I might use a couple of those today. But this is the So Thankful set, and there is that beautiful, beautiful little country truck. Ignore the warning. That's just because it's a plastic bag, and we're required to put that on there. It's a suffocation warning. So anyway, this is what the little characters and everybody looks like in here. This is a way that you can color them, or you can choose to color them however you like. And of course, we have the coordinating dies here, and these dies are going to cut out everything in here except for the 2 sentiments, and we've got it mapped out on the back. So this is like, this was my jumping off point today. So, but I want you to tell me, or not to tell me, but to tell Alan, and I don't know if Linnea is out there or not, but I'm thinking that I want to color this truck in one of 2 colors. And so let me get my colors here. It's either going to be these blues. Okay, it's either going to be these blues, as you can see. Oh, and somebody asked the question, how come some of my markers have my name on them? It's because I used to teach in some retail stores, and periodically I'd be short a marker when I was going home. So I started putting my name on them so that I knew which ones were mine. So anyway, I found that they were less likely to disappear if they had my name on them. So anyway, I'm going to either color the truck in the blues or in the pinks. And so I'm going to color it up, and I'm going to show you how to give it a little bit of kind of like an antiquing or an age kind of a look to it. If you want blue, then in all caps, I want you to put a comment below this video, or in the comment section of the video that says blue. And if you want pink, then pink in all caps. And then, is Linnea out there? Have you seen her? I don't know if she's out there. Not so far? Okay. Well, Linnea, if you're out there, then if you could maybe take a look at those and let Alan know. And if not, Alan, I also need you to, if you could take a look at those and see what people think, if they want pink or blue. Okay, so this is another super fun set, and I love this. I love doodles, and I love like cartoony kinds of things, and I just think these are so pretty. So these are doodle borders. There are no dies that go with these because you don't need dies with these. I ended up using the same one that I used. Actually, I've used these 2, both of these so far, and I haven't used these 2 yet. So I think I'm going to use this one next. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, so I ended up using this one with little pumpkins and gourds because I thought that it would be really cute with the idea that I had today. I also pulled out the A2 diagonal stitched layered card toppers. This is also new, and I'm using the 2 outermost dies. And then I don't know if I'm going to get to use this or not, but this is the Elegant Stitch Frames Slimline. This was actually from our Christmas collection. But I think for the sentiment, I might use one of these little frame or label dies here. We're going to see how that goes. I'm not sure. Angel is asking, are there more coming?
So she sent out her Halloween, and the next day she got the Christmas, and she's wondering if there's more giftables. Yes,
the giftables, yes, there is. All right, so Angel's asking regarding the HSN auto ship, the giftables card kits that we had on there. Yes, there is one more. There's one more, and I'm not exactly sure. When it's going to be shipping, only because we're dealing with it's part of the internet. The delay is the international shipping delays that we're dealing with. I think we were hoping to be shipping it from HSN in January, and it's looking like it's probably going to be hopefully no later than February. But international shipping delays. So, Alan, will you go back? Actually, no, leave it here. I'm going to go to this card.
Mostly blue/turquoise.
Mostly blue turquoise. Okay.
Yeah, but one person did vote for pink.
Pink.
I'm not sure what color that is.
Okay, so mostly blue turquoise. So I think we're going to go with the blue. Now I did color, this is a card that I did previously, and I thought, you know what, I've had so many comments and compliments on this card, so thank you everybody. I thought that I would do a different take on this card and kind of show you how I did it to some degree. I can't show you I mean, I can show you it in pieces, but I can't show you it from scratch because it would take me too long because there's a lot of coloring. But I ended up doing a different spin on it, or a different take. So this is the card we're going to be looking at. I'm going to go with the blues then to color. This one is actually done in like that kind of old-fashioned, that, what do you call that?
Patina.
Yeah, it's like a patina kind of look to it. I am going to be using a different blue. This is going to end up, these are the colors that I use for denim. And so I chose this one. I don't want it to look exactly like this one. And two, this is one of the colors I end up using in other pieces on the card. So we will go with these. And I will show, I'll get to those in a moment. So let me show you what I have so far, because there's quite a bit. Let me put all these little bits and pieces up here so you can't see everything. I don't want to give everything away, right? So I've already stamped the truck. You can see I cut it out of the little sheet that I had stamped it on, because I had other things there that I had already colored up. Using those beautiful A2 diagonal stitch layered card toppers with the largest most die, it actually cuts this beautiful perfectly sized A2 card topper. Then and I cut this from my Neenah Classic Crest Solar White. I think that's back in the store, right, Alan?
If you put it back in the store.
Can you look and see and maybe add some back in? If it's not, I think it's there though. So anyway, this is cut from Neenah Classic Crest Solar White. And then I went ahead and did this part already. So I basically just took, I cut it with the second die here, all right, in the middle here, because this has 3 dies that nest. You can see how this fits here perfectly, just beautifully, has that little bit of frame or edge around it. Now, I went ahead and I used, all I did with my blender, I literally used 2 colors. You guys have seen me color blend before, but I used these 2 colors. This is it. This one is Olive Branch, and then I used Marina Madness. So Olive Branch is my favorite color anytime I'm working with grass. That's usually my go-to. Anytime I'm working with the sky, I usually will grab Marina Madness, unless I want to do a funky sky. But if I just want to do like a beautiful, you know, during the day sky, that's what I use. So all I did was I blended up in a little bit of green, and then I blended around the top just a little bit with the Marina Madness. So I've got Olive Branch down here and a little bit of Marina Madness here. I didn't worry too much about the green and coming up a little bit into where I was going to stamp the pumpkins, because I knew I was going to color them in really, really rich colors. So I knew I was going to be able to cover up whatever I did there. So all I did was use just two of our blender brushes. All right, this is the one that I use for my blue greens, and then this is the one that I use for my greens. Next, this is the really cool thing about these stamps. These stamps are designed so that they're continuous. All right, so these are the doodle borders. I love these because they're really great for easy backgrounds. So if you notice with just the one stamp with the little gourds, when I lay this over here, all right, I stamped it a little bit off the page so that it just looked like it. To me, it looks more natural rather than having the end of that gourd be, it looks too perfect at the end of the gourds right at the edge. So I like to stamp it off just a little bit. So I went ahead and I stamped once, and then I went ahead and I laid it over here and I stamped it again. That's all I did to stamp it. And it just looks like one continuous, beautiful garden of gourds with these little mice, little critters just running all around, having a blast. And I just think they're the sweetest thing. So I'm not going to go through the whole color list, all the colors that I color these with, but I did color them with Copics. And I wanted really vibrant colors. And so my jumping off point with the colors, the very first color I chose was that pink, this one right here. That beautiful, beautiful pink. I thought, wow, I would love, these are like Alice in Wonderland gourds to me. It's like, I would love to see, you know, some really funky gourds and pumpkins in this beautiful pink. And then how about some ruby reds? And then we have these beautiful kind of orangey yellows, and then denim blue, which is why I decided to make that one of the color options or color choices for the truck. So that's why I'm going to use the denim blue because I went with that there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. You've already seen this. You've seen this. I'm not going to show you all the little critters that I've colored just yet. I'm going to get started on this for now, and we're going to get to coloring. So this is how I test my colors. So if anybody wants to see, this is how I tested my pinks. Here you can see I tested my blues and then other colors that I ended up using. That's how I decide what it is, you know, like what colors I'm going to use. So I'm going to get my blues lined up here. Let me see if I can get these in camera. Turn these all the right direction. These are the B90s. So I've got B90, 91, 93, 95, and 97. All right. I love these colors for denim. They're absolutely gorgeous for denim. If anybody has any questions, by the way, please put your questions out there, and Alan will get those questions passed along to me if he is unable to answer them. Is Linnea there? Have you seen her or no?
I haven't seen her.
Okay.
Inquiring minds want to know
about what?
Cleaner.
Oh, I actually did start the order for the cleaner. I will tell you that. I did finally get that started. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm starting with my B91, and I'm going to give this a really kind of a light kind of cover. This is my lightest color, and I'm going to leave white areas in here, right, like with this run through, because when I leave white areas, it allows me to use those as highlighted areas. So all I'm going to do right now is just kind of flick some color in here. This is B91. I'm just going to kind of work my way around here. And notice I'm going only in one direction as I do this. Makes it a little bit easier for me to make sure that that I'm not going to mess it up. I'm right-handed, so it's easier for me to kind of flick my wrist from left to right. And I want this whole truck to be the same color everywhere. I'm now going to turn my image. I am going to leave like the little, you know, bumper and the headlight and stuff like that. I'm not going to add any color to those. So this is literally just kind of marking where I want some color. All right, I'm going to leave that door handle there. What, Alan?
Nothing. I would leave it just like that.
You'd leave it like that?
I would. That's good enough for me.
You're so funny. And then in here. So this is just kind of marking where I'm going to be with my color. All right. I'm going to go to the next color now. And I'm going to go back over where I put color. So this is B93. And I'm going to use this a little more sparingly. Pull the color down through those thin areas there. And I'm just going to flick this color in. So I'm putting it right down at that line where I want that color to be the darkest. All right. And move over to here. All right, now I'm going to turn around. So I'm not really being too picky right now with light and dark. I'm just kind of putting a base of color down right now. You know, and keep in mind, I mean, I'm not necessarily doing this the right way. Somebody else might color this up entirely different and be absolutely gorgeous. So I don't want you to think that the way that I do this is necessarily the way to do it. It's just the way I do it. A little bit right in here. Okay. So now I'm going to go up one color to B95. Now this is going to be darker, so I'm going to get a little more selective now with where I put this color. I'm going to come under here. And I'm not going to go out as far as I flick this. I can always add more. So I'm going to be careful with what I do here. I'm going to leave above there lighter. Now I'm going to start to create some little areas that are going to be brighter. So up above here, close to that line, I'm going to leave that brighter. Same goes here. Okay. And then, all right, so let me see, let me get over in here. This side over here. And I do want to bring some color up in here a bit. Keep that a little bit darker. And wrap that around. Okay. Now I'm not going to go up to my darkest color just yet. I'm going to come back down to my lightest color, which is B91. And I'm just going to go over those white areas. But the areas on top where I want the highlights, I'm going to leave those kind of alone. And I got to be careful over here because I don't want to get color in that in the door handle there. But I do want to start to blend this in a bit. So I'm going to bring color back and forth from side to side just to do a little bit of blending. Long strokes with the marker here. Okay. Try and keep some of those areas lighter. Remember, if you have questions, please get those out there. For those of you that are new, we do a giveaway at the end. And the only way that we can choose your name, potentially, for the giveaway is if we know you're here. The only way we know you're here is if you leave some sort of a comment, because your names don't show up otherwise. All right. And generally the giveaway has something to do with what I have worked with during the live. All right, so that is initial right there. So we have some highlights, we have some darker areas, the start of something. All right. Now I'm going to go to my darkest color, which is B97, and I'm going to be really careful. All right, so I'm just going to add with the very tip of my marker. Just kind of some areas that, I don't know, might feel like they should be a little bit darker. This color here is going to help to really set off the highlights. Because it's going to create like a much stronger color between them. A much stronger difference of color, I should say. All right. I'm just going to come down here with a little bit. I like to do squiggly kind of lines here when I do that, because it's much easier to blend an uneven line than it is a really, really smooth straight line. That's just in my experience. Extend that one a little bit there. There we go. Okay, that's all I'm going to do with that darkest color. Now I'm going to go to a B93. And I'm going to see about getting a little more of a graduation of color from that dark one, from that really dark color into the rest.
Jen Ray said she got a kit that I packed.
Jen Ray got a kit that you packed?
Yes.
Sorry, Jen. He has been trained. He should do better next time.
Yes, I will wait for you to pack them.
You wait for me to pack them.
Do we have a die cut that cuts out the actual card base? That's Elizabeth asking. I don't know.
No. For an A2?
That's the question.
No, we don't.
Not for the A2.
No.
But for the slimline we do.
Yeah, for the slimline, yeah, we did them for the slimline because the slimline is such an odd size. You want to back up to camera 2? For card base, for an A2, you literally just take an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and which is going to be 8.5 in this direction, and then 11 here. Half of 11 is 5.5. So you're literally just going to make one cut to 5.5 right here and split them in half. And then you've got 8.5 here, so you're just going to score it at 4.25. That's all you have to do for it. So because it can be cut so easily from a standard USA letter-sized sheet of cardstock. Yeah, we didn't do a die for that. We did it for the slimline because the slimlines are, you know, they're a little more
nice
particular.
So you didn't get the
You come back.
edges lined up.
What'd you say?
It would be nice to have one so the edges all lined up perfectly.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I worry that, I mean, I'm not sure.
Maybe you figure it out.
I don't know.
Maybe someday you'll throw it in.
Okay, so I'm just starting to color without explaining now. So now I'm going back to B91 just to kind of smooth this out a little bit, blend some of those areas, leave my highlights highlighted. All right, but I don't want them white, so I'm going to go over just a little bit. Just blend these out a little bit better. And this color is so light, this B91, that it's going to take it. It's going to be fine.
Yeah, she meant the slim line.
Oh, you meant the slim line?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we have the card. Sorry. We have dies that will cut the slim line base. They're kind of mixed in with some of the slim lines. Like, for example, the one that I'm going to be working with today. This one here, this Elegant Stitched Frame Slimline, has this outer die here that will cut on 3 sides and not on the one side. This flat side is where you put it on your fold, and then you'll have a card base that's shaped exactly like your die. If you wanted one that is your standard, this is what it would be. At least it's our standard. It comes with the diagonal stitch postage frame slimline. It's the outer die that wraps around it. And this side of the die here is flat. That goes on your fold, and that will cut it'll cut the standard size that we use for our slimline card bases, which I think is pretty universal.
And then there's 2 on HSN, right?
I don't think those are there anymore. We did.
Oh, did they run out?
I'm not sure. Okay, so this isn't blended really well in here for me yet. Let me fix that up a little bit. There we go. Looks pretty good. Okay, so it's a nice kind of denim blue, which I think is really pretty. Bring that in. But I like to age it up a little bit. And when I give something age, I generally work with my W's. And so I grabbed a W1, a W3. Did I grab? And a W5. Here it is, a W5. Now, granted, here we go, W1, 3, and 5. I'm probably only going to use 3 and 5. I don't think 1's even going to show up on here. But granted, blue is a cool, all right, that's a cool color. And so, you know, logically you might think I'm going to use a cool gray. That's what I'll actually use, cool gray, when I'm going to be coloring, you know, like the what is that? Is that the back bumper?
That is a bumper.
That's a bumper, and then the areas, you know, for the wheels. No.
Oh, the wheels themselves.
Yeah, the wheels themselves. I'll use a cool gray for those because I want it to look more silvery. But for the aging, let me get this right here. All right, whatever. I can't get it to focus. It's going to be W3 and W5 because that's what makes it look old. So I just start bringing this in, and I check. I always start light to see. I don't want to go too dark too fast with these because I can always add more, but taking it away is not easy. So I just start kind of bringing in kind of some areas here where I want it to look dirty, I guess, because it's going to look aged, right? So it just doesn't look so new. Now this is a case where if I put too much, I'll probably blend out with the W1. I'm going to do a little bit of a W5. I'm only going to work with the very tip of that marker and very little, just in some areas that I really want to kind of accentuate how dark it is. And then I'm going to blend that out a little bit. There we go. Maybe a little bit in here too. All right, now I'm going to blend it out and I'm going to use my W1. So it softens what I did. I'm blending it in a little bit to the rest of what's there, just to kind of soften that change in the color a bit. This is, when you use this lighter color like this, it just kind of smudges it, which I think is really pretty. I'm actually applying a little more pressure when I kind of smooth this out. But I think that gives it kind of that dirty look. I do want to bring in a little bit more. This is a B91 in this area here. Might be a little too bright. And then I want to bring in a little bit of a curve back in here. And I think I can achieve that maybe a little bit with that gray. What, Alan?
I just want to see it in person.
Oops. What do you think?
I think it looks great. I'd leave it just like that.
I think the blue is a little bit too bright in a couple of areas here. There we go. So that, to me, looks like an aged, kind of an old truck. A couple more areas I got to color. Okay. Alan, will you do me a favor and get me a Y11 over there? Let me point to it for you. Well, you're in the way. I can't point to it. Oh.
Well, I can't. Oh, you found it?
It's right there. I know exactly where they are.
But you could see that.
Well, no, I just know where they are. I use them all the time. Okay, so Y11 I'm going to use for the light here, for that headlight, because I like that kind of bright. And then I'm going to go in with a Y15, just kind of on the back side of that, just to kind of give it, and then it has that little bit of a glow. For this little bumper, I've got just a little bit of C1, and for the wheels, I'm going to try and go kind of in a circle here. And I'm not really covering it completely, and I'm not getting the center, so I'm going to leave that nice and light. And then I'm going to go with, what was that? That was C1. Let's see if this is going to be too dark. Oh, that one's pretty dark. I don't know if I want to do that. Let's see. Maybe just a little tiny little bit. Just a little bits. I'm just putting little scratches in here just because I think I can blend those out. And it'll give me a variation of color. So that was just really soft. And now with C1, I'm just going to come in with that. And just kind of blend that up a bit. Just a little. That gives me a little bit of texture on it. And then for the window, oh, and I almost forgot, I'm going to use C1 also on the little door handle here. I'm just going to just come in from each side so it makes it look like it shines a little bit in the center. And then I think, oh, this one is a BG10. And this is a window. So I'm going to go very, very light. And just get just some little like marks on it. So you can see that it's maybe glass and has a little bit of a glare. And that's all there is to that. That's all she wrote. So now, so you can see how easy it can be to color up the truck. I just see one little area here that I'm not happy with. I think it's too bright. And it's right here. I'm going to just go over this with my B91. It looked too white, that little spot right up in there. Okay, so I'm going to give this to Alan so he can cut this out for me. Get my tape. So I think that this little country truck looks adorable in denim. Like I said, those are colors. If I was going to color denim jeans or something, these are the blues that I use. And I think they work really, really nicely for it. All right, Alan, will you come over here, please? Hold that down so it doesn't, so tape doesn't pop up. Okay. So while he is cutting that, I'm going to show you these other pieces that I've already colored and stamped and colored and cut. Now these are actually all from the So Thankful stamp set. So I've got a gazillion little pumpkins. I couldn't wait to use this little porcupine. You can see I colored him in those pinks. The pinks that I used, and by the way, if anybody wanted to know what they were, are, because I think it's so gorgeous, these are RVs. So it's RV 11, 13, and 14. That's what I used for these pinks on the pumpkin too. Now the difference when you look at it, so this one has that aged look. I used grays on it just to dirty it up. And then the pumpkin, of course, I did not use the grays on it because I didn't want dirty pumpkins. So I've got two of these little porcupines, and then I have this little guy, my little raccoon. Isn't he adorable? A little pot of flowers. And then I did a whole bunch of these pumpkins. So I stamped this one just several times, and I colored them up in all of the colors that I used on these gourds. Okay, and I just cut them out. Really easy, very quick with the die. All right, so here is my truck. Remove this tape. See if I can do it without tearing it. There we go. And let's get this die put away so I don't lose it. Yes, I do lose dies if I don't put them away. Now, I'm going to start laying this out and figure out where things are going to go, because I do have to stamp my sentiment, and I don't know if I'm going to have room to put it how I want to put it, so we'll see. So here's my little truck. I'm thinking it's going to go here. Something like that. I'm going to lower it down a little bit so you can see those gourds up in there. Actually, these gourds you won't see. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just put it up here because I have a lot of pumpkins. So my thinking was that I would have this guy in the back of the truck. But I was kind of thinking that I don't know if everybody's going to fit here or not, so we'll see. I was thinking I would put him here. I may not have enough for this guy, enough room, but we'll see. I wanted to stack these pumpkins up in here somehow, if I could. Let's do, I'm going to do pink, orange, red, just get a bunch of these guys in here. Oh, all right, well, let's just put it in there because right now I can't slide them all in where I want. So that's kind of going to go there. And then I thought I would have some of those. I'm not sure how he's going to fit yet, but we'll see. I kind of want his little head popping up from it like that. I thought that would be really cute. And then I thought I would just kind of put the rest of the pumpkins around wherever they might fit. And then I want to see, let me get this stamp out, this sentiment. This is how I play. I got to see if things are going to fit. So if I have, let me get these dies off of here. That die's too big. That one fits. So this one fits. This is how I determine what dies are going to fit. Maybe in this direction, or maybe in that direction. I think I like it better this way. So you can see it goes either way. I just don't know if it's going to fit on here. Might be a little much if I put that there. Ooh, that looks too, it's just too much. It's no, I have too much dimension, I think, if I put that on there. So I'm going to put the dies away and I'm going to forego the dies. So this is how I determine what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to grab the stamp and just see if I can stamp it here, which I think I can. I think that's going to work out better. Gives me plenty of room. Yeah, I think that's going to work out much better. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so let me get everybody off of here.
Everybody out.
Everybody out! Everybody out of the truck!
Covering up those.
Yeah, I ended up covering them. That's fine. This wasn't going to be my card. I never intended on everybody seeing all of my. I didn't even have to color them up because I mean I could have just colored the ones back in here, but I just think they're so pretty. I couldn't stop coloring. So yes, I am coloring them up, and that's fine.
Can you just make that a birthday card?
I could. I mean, I could put that on there and just leave it at that, but I'm not going to. I want a scene.
Somebody wants a birthday card.
And I love how easy it is to create a scene with these. So yeah, I didn't have to color everything up, but I kind of couldn't stop. It was just fun. You know, you get into a zone. Alan, do you want to come to camera 3 or 2? All right, so I've got my Raven hybrid ink. Let me move everybody out of the pool over there. Oh, I forgot to rub my hand over that. This is where I go, gosh, I hope I have it in the right direction.
I think you've done that before.
Grab my Stampendable. I may have to stamp it twice. Yeah, I'm going to stamp it once more. I mean, it looks really good, but I just want to give it one more so it's really, really crisp. I haven't stamped with this stamp yet, so it was brand new. And sometimes you have to stamp them twice when they're brand new. Okay. Put this away while I'm here, meaning while I've got this going on here. I'm going to stamp some of these little leaves. I'm going to stamp this one, I think. And I'm actually, because I don't want to have to keep moving everything all around, I'm actually going to use a little black. This is like a little maple leaf. We're going to see how well I can do this. Ha. Make sure nothing's going to get in the way as I do that. And I don't think it is. Looks good. So I'm actually going to stamp it with this. It's called Iced Tea. And I'm going to use a little black because I don't want to have to keep moving everything around. I'm going to stamp once off. I always like to do a test first to make sure we're good. Ooh. I got to get the pressure right on that. Good. Okay. I think it helps if the paper is flat like it is. Oh. Guess I'm going to have to put a pumpkin there. Let's do this one on this angle here. I'm not even going to try and do that again. All right, so I'm going to have to put something up over that one because I messed it up. Oh, I don't know if a pumpkin's going to go there. Looks like it's kind of the wrong place for a pumpkin. So, you know what that means? Oy. That means I gotta try and line up this doggone stamp. Make sure it's dry because I just wet it. See, this is why you use a stamping platform. Boy, I hope I don't make this worse. All right, I'm gonna get my head in the camera right now. Let's see where my lines are. Boy, I think that's it. Here's what I'm gonna do. If that's not the right spot, then I'm going to use my dies. I will die cut a couple of these and I'll cover it. I don't know if that's exactly the right spot. So we're going to see. We're going to see. Let me see if I can just get that little bit of an edge where I need to do it. And if it's not the right spot, then I will seriously die cut one. I think I actually got it on the right spot. So let me ink up the tip because I missed the top. I didn't ink it. Oh my goodness. Yay!
Are we going without a truck or what?
No, why would we go without a truck?
I don't know, I like it just the way it is. Don't change
No, we're not going without a truck. Why would we go without a truck? I didn't color up that truck and everybody else just to not use them.
You can put it on the inside.
No. I think Alan needs to start designing cards. He sounds like he's in dire need of card design. That's what I think. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that you need to design cards. That's what I think. That's what it's sounding like. I'm going to go ahead and put some foam on the back of this because I want this to stand up a little bit. Not stand up, but have some dimension away from the card base. I'm also going to put foam on the back of the car. tiny little bit up there under the window. So let's go ahead and start placing things. All right. Is that, Alan, will you come into camera 3?
Sure.
Quickly? Alan, oh, come on. Oh my gosh. Hunt Comedy Hour. All right, I think that looks centered. So this I'm going to put here. So he'll get his hand on camera. He just doesn't want to get himself on camera.
That is myself.
That is yourself?
Yes.
I'm going to move this back a little bit so you can see some of those pumpkins there. So it's not necessarily perfectly centered. So cute. It's super cute already. I just love it. And then he, I think, is going to go here, but he needs a little bit of foam. I mean, you got to pop him up on a little bit of foam. This card's going to have some dimension. Just wouldn't be right if he didn't, right? Now, down here by his little feet, I'm going to pop that, oops, haha. I'm going to pop that up on 2 pieces because the truck is already on foam. And so that's like one level or one layer. And his body is going to be up against the truck. So I need to have that extra support under his little feet. I think that's going to look cute right there. Look how cute. Oh, adorbs. I could actually put him here, but it might be too much. We'll see. So, let me get my pumpkins here. See if I can start placing these. Now, for these pumpkins, I'm actually going to use, where's my liquid adhesive? Here it is. I'm going to use a little bit of liquid adhesive for these pumpkins. And I'm just going to put the adhesive kind of at the bottom because it's going to allow me to kind of tuck that in. And then it allows me to tuck things behind that then as well. We'll see how this turns out.
What color Copics would you use to give a rust appearance?
A rust appearance for Copics.
This kind of looks kind of rusty by that.
Yeah, I'd have to go over there and see. I don't know offhand. I'd have to go play with some colors. I don't know offhand exactly what I would do with that.
It'd be ease though, right?
Yes, it would definitely be ease. But I don't know offhand. I'd have to play with that a little bit to see. There we go. I think I might tuck him at this point because I don't want him to go. So, all right, so I'm going to do this. Woo! And he ends up on my hand. Isn't that lovely? Thankfully, I didn't have time to do my nails today. So I didn't mess up any nail polish. I'm going to put a little bit of foam underneath that little flower at the top of him. So that gives that a little bit of dimension. He's going to be like that. Look how cute that is. And you know what we don't have is blue. So let's put a blue one in here. Oh my goodness, look how adorable that is. I love it. I love it. I seriously love it. I still have a lot of pumpkins left. I wonder if I can fit any in here anywhere. I think I can put a couple here. So let me just get a tiny little bit of foam. And let me see how much foam. It's just going to be kind of at the bottom. And then I'm going to do a little bit of adhesive at the top, just so it doesn't float around. In case it moves, it'll be secured pretty well. So we'll put an orange one here. So like he's kind of like standing by this pumpkin. And then maybe put, I don't want the pink, I don't want the blue. Actually I am. I'm going to put the pink. I'll put the pink, but I'm going to tuck it behind this one a bit. See if I can be successful at that. A little bit of adhesive. Okay, so I'm going to remove this one. This is where you got to play. I'm going to have to remove some of this foam because I can't have the foam on that side. I just need that little bit of foam on the side that is not near the pumpkin. That dried bit. Go like that. You can see me making a mess. This is what it's really like when I craft. Okay. There we go. I think that is so cute. And I don't think we really need any more. I mean, I could, it's just going to be too much if I put any more. So push that down so that glue dries. Anyway, I think that looks adorable. Now we don't have a card base, you know, and here's the thing. Here's some of the pieces that I created or worked with that I just can't fit, and that's fine. Sometimes you can't fit all the pieces that you're working with. I'm going to go ahead and get a card base going for this. I already have a half sheet of paper ready to go. So this is already cut. It's 8.5 by 5 and I'm sorry, yeah, 8.5 by 5.5. I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. Oops, here's my 4 1/4 mark right here. Okay, so I score down. You fold away from, oh, did I do that in the right place? Yeah, fold away from it. I always like to make sure my corners are even. And then this is going to fit beautifully on top of it, just like so. Looks like I cut it a little bit big, so I'm going to trim one end of it. Looks like I didn't cut it right at, and let me go back out. I cut it a little bit long. So I didn't cut it right at the 5.5, I cut it a little bit off. So I'm just going to trim that end off. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my adhesive on the card base, just because I already have so much dimension on my card topper that I created. Lay this on here, right up against that edge. Make sure it's straight. There we go. So cute. And you could put another sentiment on the inside if you want. So. Alan, you want to come into camera 3? So here you can see 2 cards, same stamp sets, 2 very different looks. Oh, okay, it wasn't dirt, it was just fuzz from my sweater. 2 very different looks, and I use the same stamp sets. I think they're both beautiful. I love them. I even used the same dies on them. This one I only used the largest outer die. This one I layered a couple of dies. So pretty. You can see when I just use just the largest outer die and get a little more pumpkin, you know, behind the truck. But this is just a different take on it. And I think it's so pretty. And it just looks like they're in this big old pumpkin patch. I think it's so beautiful. I love it. Look at that guy. He's so cute. All right, everybody. So let's come out to camera 1, Mr. Hunt.
Mugshot.
Mugshot. So I hope you like these. Here's the card. That was that shot. I hope you liked it. I think it turned out so cute. I love the little stack of all the little pumpkins in it. I just think it's adorable. So cute. Okay, so for today's giveaway, hopefully you guys all got a comment or something out there. I hope you guys enjoyed this, by the way, too. I think today's giveaway is going to be the doodle borders. Because these are so versatile, and you're going to be able to use these with any of our character stamps or even by themselves. You saw how gorgeous those beautiful pumpkins and gourds looked in the background. And depending on how you color them up, you can use these year round. I absolutely love these. So, Mr. Hunt, if you will give me a name, please, I can call out the winner. Lori Shad, you are the winner of the doodle borders. Congratulations, Lori. Lori, I need you to do me a favor, please, and send me your complete name and your complete mailing address. Send it to customerservice@ldrscreative.com, and we will get your doodle border stamps out to you right away. Congratulations, Lori. Yay. All right, everybody, the time has come for us to say good night. So long, farewell. It's almost that time of year, isn't it? All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining. It has been so much fun. I hope you enjoyed tonight's card. And I hope you will take a look at using some kind of non-traditional colors for the season. I love seeing the pinks and stuff, you know, like the pink and the burgundy and all that mixed in with those beautiful oranges. I think people tend to use a lot of orange and yellow at this time of year. And I don't want you to hesitate to throw some other colors in there because I think they're just beautiful. So anyway, see you guys next Thursday. Have a good night.